Years older, 2 inches taller. Morrison has the weight advantage. Morrison's been a pro for 2 years. Vaulin 1, but as we've noted, both of them have had a lot of amateur experience. And let's call on our Nevada State judge, Cindy Barton. What are the rules for this fight, Cindy?
Well, Lynn, we're New Jersey State rules again for a 10-round fight. It's a 10-point must system. Referee does not score the fight. Standing 8 count is in effect. The 3 knockdown rule is in effect. The bell cannot save the fighter in any round, including the 10th, and the doctor can stop the fight.
All right, so it's time for the introductions of the fighters. Let's go to our ring announcer, Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 10 rounds. It's in the heavyweight division, and the referee for this contest is Steve Smoger. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he's wearing the red trunks and weighs an even 209 pounds. His professional record, 10 victories with 6 KOs, only 1 defeat. He's originally from the USSR, now fighting out of Yonkers in New York. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Yuri Vaulin. And fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks with red, white, and blue trim, he weighs an even 223 pounds, undefeated with a record of 26-0, 22 KOs. From Kansas City, ladies and gentlemen, he's one of the top-ranked heavyweights in the world today, Tommy the Duke Morrison.
Yo, he comes out. He comes out. You got an interpreter? Let him come out.
All right,
You want to come out? Come out. Oh, you were given, all right. Good. You were given your instructions at the weigh-in. Obey my commands at all times. Obey the bell at all times. And protect yourself at all times. Don't touch him up or we don't go. Touch it. Very good. Let's roll.
Joe, Vaulin's one of several Soviet fighters that was brought over by Lou Falsino. Is there a common thread that runs among them?
Well, actually, he's one of the few of the Soviet fighters that are still around. They sent a couple of them back. I think they kept one of them, and I wouldn't even dare to pronounce his name right now, but it's a lot harder than Vaulin.
And Vaulin bounced right into the ring. This has been set up as one of those Rocky IV versus Rocky V fights.
A few of the Soviet fighters had a hard time adapting to the American pro style. You know, they have so many fights over there. They get in a groove to fight one way, and it's almost impossible to break into that habit. And that's what Tommy Gallagher said he was having a problem with Vaulin.
Morrison just trying to check him out and see what he could do.
Well, Vaulin's moving the way that Tommy Gallagher didn't want him to move, and that's to his right. He wanted Vaulin to move to his left, to stay away from that big left hook of Morrison.
And Morrison slipped down. Referee Steve Smoger. Opening round is scheduled for 10. The crowd reacts to Morrison's aggressiveness.
Vaulin took that shot real well. It hit him on top of the head, but it still landed very solidly and didn't seem to affect him in the least.
Morrison had told us you see him dipping down. He wants to work the body a bit, but hasn't done it yet. And Morrison doing some damage with both hands. Roundhouse right glances off the head of Vaulin.
Tommy Gallagher, Vaulin's trainer, told me he wants him nowhere near those ropes. He's got to stay in the center of that ring and use that jab. And as a matter of fact, he's got a beautiful jab. It comes out straight, comes out fast and hard. But he hasn't done much other than throw that jab. Vaulin hasn't. You hear Gallagher screaming for him to throw that left hand. He thinks that Morrison's open for it, and Vaulin isn't responding.
And the final seconds of this first round of the heavyweight fight. Tommy Morrison and Yuri Vaulin from Latvia.
Tommy Morrison show.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is the last round in the ring at this time. This is
Well, you know, you can't really hear too much in the corner right now, but I got to assume that Morrison's corner is telling him to stop following him around and cut off that ring and hit the body more. It's something that he said he was going to do, and he hasn't. Of course, on the we're a little bit closer to Vaulin's corner.
And they are speaking English. Vaulin doesn't speak much of it, but understands a little bit.
Throw this.
Well, Tommy Gallagher, Vaulin's trainer, urging him to throw that left hand, but it was a nicely fought round for Vaulin.
Round two.
Well, the CompuBond stat on the jab thrown in round one was 33% landed by Vaulin and 17% landed by Morrison. Of course, he only threw 12 jabs. And there goes that left hand that they were asking for, and he's landing it.
Vaulin getting some punches in there.
As Morrison headhunting again, he should be hitting that body at every opportunity.
Morrison swinging and hitting air.
Well, this kid's an elusive target, this Vaulin, and his head, he leans back, he's tall, he should be hitting that body. It's the closest thing to him.
Morrison landing a right. Big roar through the crowd moments ago with the arrival of Muhammad Ali at ringside.
Another straight, hard left jab or right jab landed by Vaulin. Morrison's starting to look puffy already, and it's only been a round and a half.
Well, they said they expected the fight to be difficult, that Vaulin was awkward. They wanted to get Morrison some rounds. But they had already looked ahead and tried to book Ray Mercer for August.
Well, they might have been putting the
left for Morrison.
Putting the cart ahead of the horse. From this point of view right now, Vaulin's not doing too badly. He's holding his own right now. A lot of people thought this fight was going to end real early.
Work out of it, work out of it. No, break, don't worry.
Keep moving, keep moving.
Little blood around the mouth of Morrison.
Well, he's taken several jabs right off the chin, and that opened him up rather early.
Hands up, hands up.
He's certainly in a dogfight here against the Russian fighter.
I'm here. Step, step.
Well, it looks like they've been working on Vaulin's killer instincts here. Tommy Gallagher said he had a hard time getting him to really open up on his opponent, and here he looks like he means business tonight. He doesn't want to just win. He wants to do some damage tonight. Look at that, putting a three-punch combination and getting out. This is what he got to do all night to win the fight.
Vaulin in good shape, dancing away. We wind down towards the end of the second round. Right hand from Morrison.
Well, you know, Bill Caton, Tommy Morrison's manager, told me they might have made a mistake taking this fight because of the awkwardness of this southpaw, and unfortunately, it's turning out to be true.
And there's a champion. There's a live picture from his dressing area. His trainer, Lou Duva, right behind him. The man who has somewhat been overlooked in the promotion, even though he is the undisputed world heavyweight champion. George Foreman has garnered all of the attention and a good deal of the support. And of course, coming up, we will have what's being billed as the Battle of the Ages. 42-year-old George Foreman, 28-year-old Evander Holyfield. But first, there's the business of Tommy Morrison and Yuri Vaulin. Round 3, it's scheduled for 10.
Well, the jab seems to be the deciding factor in this fight so far. Vaulin landing 32% to Morrison's 9%. He's only thrown 22. He's been throwing wild and trying to headhunt, and it's not serving him very well in this fight.
And the longer Morrison goes, he treads into unfamiliar waters because most of his fights have ended in the first couple of rounds, Joe.
Especially his last few fights. He fought Pigland Thomas, knocked him out in one.
Quick
and
Tillis.
James Quick Tillis. What has he had? About 20 knockouts in his last 22 fights, I believe. And
all early. All in the first couple of rounds.
Well, Tommy Gallagher telling Vaulin to move, and the one time he didn't, he got caught with a left hook to the head. And that's what he's got to do, use that mobility and get out of the way of these big bombs.
You mentioned something that nobody knew, Joe, that Morrison has an injured right hand. Do you think that's telling a tale?
Well, you know, he did. He had a severely injured knuckle, and in confidence he showed it to me. And I didn't say anything before the fight, but now that it's going on, it won't make a bit of difference. But he really hasn't been throwing it that much, and I've seen him knock out quite a few guys with that right hand. But right now, he's limited. He hasn't been throwing it very much at all. It may be bothering him. You see, he didn't follow up with that left hook. He should have thrown that right uppercut right into the midsection after that. In fact, he doubled over in pain and fell to the canvas during sparring when he hit his sparring partner, Jerry Jones. Oh!
And Vaulin landing. He staggered Morrison.
Boy,
Morrison has never been down in his career, and he wobbled there.
Well, he's got to stick to his game plan here, Vaulin. He shouldn't get overly confident because Tommy is still strong, even though he wobbled him.
But this is the point where Tommy Gallagher said Vaulin needed to go after him now. Don't let him off the hook.
Well,
Don't let him back in the fight.
He's in, but he's holding on. He should stay to the outside. He's landing from the outside. Why quit there?
He lands again with a left. Vaulin putting on a show in the third round.
Putting on a show and catapulting himself to the top of the heavyweight division. If he takes out Morrison, he's rated in the top 10 in all three categories here.
And Morrison landed a left, but after paying the price.
Morrison cannot just be content to throw those punches and stop. He's got to throw those punches and step to the side, get out of harm's way there. Don't be in line for a counter shot from Morrison.
No punch, no punch, no punch.
A strong round for the underdog, Yuri Vaulin, who's taken over control of this fight through 3.
Here on the replay, you see Vaulin landing that jab, bingo, right on the button with that left hand, and then followed up with that right hook to the temple. And that'll do a lot of damage in itself. Here again, another angle of that. And left hook right on the chin, followed by a left and another left. A beautiful 3-punch combination set up by the jab. It's the overhead shot. Steps in, right cross, left hand, right cross. It's amazing that Tommy Morrison really stood up to those 3 shots. That would have put any normal man down. Look at this. Turned his head completely around. Almost look at the same combination that Buster Douglas hit Mike Tyson with to put him out and down. He won't be able to take many more.